Hmm?
Hi, y'all. What's going
Hello.
on?
Just replying to Braxton on there. Is he had a message?
Oh, worry.
Yeah.
I got all worried because it shows we've been live for 13 seconds. I'm like, oh, did you guys get my cough?
Probably.
Braxton, I'm so excited for you to be going. I remember FFA conventions. They were so much fun. So I hope that you are having a fantastic time. And I appreciate you dropping in with a message. It's so great.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sandy, what's going
Yeah,
on?
because you were in FFA and I was in 4-H.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we kind of encompass the two agricultural uh, extracurriculars for outside of normal education. But I really enjoyed being in the FFA. I thought it was super fun.
Oh, yeah.
National convention was always awesome because it was like a game. And anybody that isn't in FFA or doesn't know, like they wear like their jackets and everything, and you have your officers, and you can go around and do like livestock judging. You learn a lot of like skills that you wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to experience. But at national convention, it's all the chapters from all over the United States. So like we would have like our little scoreboard to see if we could see a jacket from every single state. And I don't think I ever filled it, but I saw some from Hawaii. I was like,
cool.
That's cool. I'm like the Hawaii chapter for FFA. So that was really, really neat. Hello, Patty.
Hello, Patty.
Thanks,
Good to have you
Sandy.
here tonight.
I appreciate the congratulations. I wasn't even like really watching for it to happen, but I think that's how things go. Like when you stop kind of focusing and obsessing on something, it just seems like it happens a lot faster, probably because you're not paying attention to it so much. So like I woke up and I'm like, we rolled over to 2000. That's pretty amazing.
It doesn't help you're in the barn a lot right now with the goat kids. Of course, you guys have been following. We have goat kids running everywhere.
Yeah, I feel bad for you guys though, like here on YouTube, because you guys are still in March. It's May 4th. It's May 4th, so I'm just now getting the point where it's slowing enough where I could probably start working a little bit more, especially starting next week. This week has been just
busy one. Yep.
Been busy, but we're doing our best.
Yep.
Hello, Margie.
Good to have you here tonight.
Margie, did you like your namesake in our barn?
Yeah.
She's super spunky.
All the pictures you took of them, though, they're like mouth open, screaming.
Well, that was on disc budding day, and that was me taking them back out to reunite with mommies right after disc budding because it's a very stressful situation for them. So
for sure.
I was like, well, this sounds so bad, like preying on their moments of reuniting with their moms after being stressed. I'm like, these will make for great pictures because I'll get them doing silly things, and of course they just volunteered those silly faces. Yeah. So yeah, sure. Hanson, I'm going to remember your name. Hanson never done bars. I have to remember your name because it's unique too, and I should remember it.
Yep.
It says, what's this? 2,000 subs. Congrats. You guys saw the alert and had to come in. Can't stay. Say a prayer for us in Oklahoma. Or are you guys getting bad weather again?
Yeah.
We've been watching Storm Chasers, and they're always, they've been in Oklahoma like all week.
I feel like Ryan Hall, y'all, if he has a channel.
Ryan Hall, y'all.
And he follows like several Storm Chasers and stays in touch with them. And he's been following Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, Panhandle, a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
So
he's interesting to watch. I really enjoy watching him. Hello, Fairview Family Farm.
Margie's a fan of Margie.
Yeah. Who couldn't love a goat named after that?
Yep.
You will see more of her too. That was one where Blackberry was like super sneaky, and she's like, "You're getting ready to go on a call for training, so you won't be able to come to the barn." And that's when she's obviously going to have her kids. So I didn't even get them on camera being born. So I will make sure to give you guys some more. But like they were born in the beginning to mid stance of April. You guys just got to doe number 2's labor. We have 12. So I'm trying to do my best to get more content out to you guys because I'm enjoying making it.
It's fun out there watching them run around. They just bounce around.
It is.
So
and then Patty says Ryan Hall, y'all. Yes, and he's on it. Yes, he is on it. Hello, Emma. You love Ryan Hall too. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. Hello, Rose, and thank you for the congratulations.
Yep. Yeah, he's one of our favorites to watch.
Mark always puts him on.
Yeah, him and there's one called his name's Aaron J. Jack, and I watch him sometimes.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's sort of funny. So
you can tell he runs his show by himself though, because like he was doing something the other night, and he was just like randomly yelling out and stuff. Like he jumped back into his car. He's like, "I've had poop all day."
Yeah.
So glad you put that out on the line.
He's always like talking about where he eats too.
Yeah, he does do like his little food reviews, and it's pretty interesting, especially because he goes to so many different places.
Hello, Betty Randall.
Hello,
good to have
Betty.
you here tonight.
Then Sandy said, "Did you see 3 college student storm chasers were going back after chasing a storm and were killed?" That is so terrible. Go chase a storm where you think that would be where it might end,
the
and
most
then
dangerous
that's
part of
so
it. Yeah,
awful.
That's sad to hear.
It just goes to show you never know. You know, nobody ever knows when their time's up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, our weather's been up and down here a little bit. We had sunny and nice weather yesterday.
Yeah, and today's
it's
kind
cloudy.
Not the warmest. And of course, I clipped goats.
Yeah.
For show, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, guys. It's a little
I don't think
chilly.
you only clipped goats.
I don't know where I clipped my. Okay, if you guys follow my Facebook page, you know I was clipping goats yesterday too, and I wore my hair in a ponytail, and I was sweeping up all the goat hair, and I looked down on the ground. I'm like, that's some pretty long goat hair, and I was like, that's not the right color for any of the goats I just clipped, and I like looked down at my ponytail. I'm like, oh dear God.
Yeah.
I definitely clipped my hair, but I cannot find like where I've done it. So I'm like, I'll just keep wearing it up in a ponytail.
So now the barn is a hair parlor too. Just get your hair cuts
Just
there while you're in
inadvertent, and
as long as she
Mark
stays away from my
like,
beard, I'll be all right.
Mark was outside. They came out with his chunk of hair, and I'm like, this is a goat hair. It's like, where did it come from? I'm like, my head. Oh,
so we had Stewart's Prepping. Thank you.
Hello, thank you very much.
And Missouri Outlaw, Randy.
Yes, Randy.
Thank you.
Howdy.
Good to see you here tonight. But yeah, you've been busy trimming goats because I'm
doing my first goat show this
besides
weekend.
outside of 4-H at least.
Yeah, and so I'm actually the one that's showing. So it was funny because like last week I was out walking goats and Joe's like, "Am I gonna have to help you show?" And I'm like, "No, this is all Mom." And she's like, "I'm gonna be the judge." It's like walking around. She did what I do to her to try to get her used to like knowing where your judge is so that you're never in front of the judge, between the judge and your animal, so they can see them at all times.
We got my sister going with us too.
Yeah, so it's a family affair.
Yep, so we'll be hanging out at the goat show.
Yeah, I am coming up. So nervous.
Shouldn't be.
And I'm stupid though, because I get super competitive, and I know I'm like, I don't really know everything that I'm looking at, and I don't want someone to go and be like, your goat sucks in this area.
Or she said maybe your ends needed trim.
Maybe they did. I'm like, well, maybe I hit it, but actually, like, there's a little
short spot right there.
Yeah, there's like a short spot.
You think you found it?
Oh yeah, that's pretty short for the rest of my hair.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it was right. So that's like right under in the back. I can live with that. I don't need to go get that correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at it. I was like, oh my gosh.
She's like, this doesn't look like goat hair. It was definitely her own.
I know, and I was smelling it, and I'm like, it doesn't smell like goat hair either.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it happens.
Good thing you weren't
no
in the
harm.
way.
Yeah, it's better than cutting your finger or something like that with it.
So true.
So
that is so true. I do not use like the big clippers like for the shearing for sheep. We used to have those clippers for like the llama, and they scare me to death because I'm like, if I miss and hit myself or hit them, like we're gonna have there's gonna be some bloodshed. So
hoof trimming is dangerous enough sometimes, especially when they always kick at the opportune time.
Yeah, when you're like lined up like this is the last snip, and they kick right as you're snipping. You're like, great. I have to put blood stop on and everything. So because they're like us, like they bleed like sieves if they get clipped right there on the quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a crazy week. Hello, Mama Bird. How are you doing? Emma says, Ashley, I'm so excited for you. You've been working so hard and deserve a celebration.
Yep. She'll get to celebrate at the goat show. That's her celebration.
I know.
Which is a big celebration for us.
I just feel bad though, because like I hit it and I have not been like on my game, like with my schedule or anything like that. But I'm really hoping we're getting to a point where we're starting to kind of slow down a little bit.
Well, except for the gardening, we need to pick up on that because for our grow zone, typically it's Mother's Day, and that's coming up quick.
Sunday.
So.
And we don't have our in-ground done. Yeah. We actually just got it all kind of, all the panels up and got it sectioned away from the goats. We just have to put the gate on and start turning that ground. And I need to finish filling my raised garden beds. Even though I'm using hugelkultur, I'm trying to use as much of my own manure and compost for my base layers as I can before I get my final like topsoil or like the good stuff, like the bagged stuff.
Hello, Farmer Brad. Good to see you here tonight.
Yeah, we're a little bit far behind. I've got all of my starts are outside hardening off. I still haven't separated them out because I am a rock star and I really want them to be stunted before they go into
Do we need to
garden.
take the scissors away from you?
Yes. Yes, you
Hmm.
probably do. Except it was clippers. Like I don't even know how I got it. And it was such a huge chunk. I'm like, I had to hold it there to get that much hair to come out.
It's just funny that you didn't even notice when it happened.
I didn't, and then I was just sweeping up, and I'm like, man, that's a weird clump of hair. It's like
that looks like my hair.
None of my goat's hair is that color.
Hello, Crazy Life. Thank you.
Hey, Mo. Thank you. Just talking about how I gave myself a trimming up my goats for show this weekend.
For sure.
Oh, it's been crazy. So Emma says our growing zone is also Mother's Day as plant market. But we've had so much rain. I'm behind, and I'll be at Baker Creek. I am so jealous that you are close enough to go to that. That looks like that's going to be an amazing time.
Ashley's just happy to get the catalog. Just do that.
I just introduced my mom to Baker's Creek. My mom has been like a longtime gardener for like her entire life. Yeah. And like I was like, be careful. When you get their catalog, you're gonna buy a lot more than you need to buy. It happened.
Yeah, I imagine that place is awesome to go through if you're close enough.
Yeah. Oh, so Emma's asking. She says, in that picture you posted on Facebook,
that's definitely
did Marky
a wig.
Really have a mullet, or was that a wig? It was a wig. Okay. As much as I know that mullets are like all the rage right now, I don't know if I could. I won't say I don't know how I would feel about you having
high school boys
a
around here.
They,
high percentage of them have
all
mullets.
have mullets. Or I told Joe, I'm like, please don't bring home a boy with a mullet. Don't. Wait, years from now, when she's like allowed to date, like 10 years from now, hopefully in the decade, times change and the styles change too. But I was like, please no mullets, because I will not be able to take that kid seriously.
Yeah, even though I don't have hair now, like a mullet, if I had the choice to go back with hair and get a mullet.
Would you get a mullet?
I don't know if I could do that.
I was going to say, I'm like, please don't disappoint me.
Ashley's not a fan of them.
I don't like them.
I like a lot of things that came out of the 80s. The mullet.
That's one thing that should have stayed back there.
I know my mom's in the chat here, but when I was little growing up, she actually had me grow out a rat tail. People in the chat probably remember that, but I was little at the time. Of course, had like sort of a short haircut everywhere, and then a rat tail.
How long?
It got pretty long. I would say it was like 6 inches or something. I was like,
really?
Little,
Did you cry when you cut it off? Were you upset, or were you
just
like, I'm done with the rat tail?
I was little. I didn't really pay attention to it much.
That phase is passed me by.
Yeah. So, but that was the thing back then. So it wasn't like it was out of the norm.
Crazy. That is so crazy. So Rose over at Wholesome Root says, I'm loving my new garden beds. Everything is growing fast.
That's awesome.
See, that's what I'm hoping once I get our starts in, that it's going to go really fast. Yeah. It's been like warm and wet, like, but not so consistent where I'm willing to like try putting anything in the ground. But I've noticed like my manure and like the stuff from the goat pen is like starting to grow things in there I don't want to grow. So I'm like trying to hurry up and, put down a weed block and a weed barrier because I've waited too long. Kidding comes around and then I'm just like, I'm in the barn. Yeah. And that's the only place I am. And I don't, but we do have new additions in the duck house.
Yeah.
As of today, first duckling hatched.
And it's going to be the first of many because we have several
1, 2, 3,
ducks
4,
sitting
5,
on eggs.
6, 7, 8. We have 9 ducks.
Yeah.
Out of 17, 9 are on nests.
Definitely prolific at reproducing for sure.
Yeah, when we read that Muscovies were great mothers and that they were good at populating, I didn't think they were this good. Yeah. Like they're almost
yeah, because
they're like the rabbits of the duck world.
We bought 10 to start out, thinking, okay, that'll give us a good start because we really wanted to have a good foundation.
And then we went into the winter with actually 19.
Yeah.
Had the 2 with the coyote. And then the 17 that are left, 3 of which are drakes. One drake is going to go, I'm going to eat him soon. But I'm sorry for anybody that doesn't like that in the chat, but that's what they provide us with meat, and we love the taste of duck.
Yeah, it tastes good. But
I never had duck until we ate our own that we butchered here, and
But
I
each
love
of them
duck.
have a large number of eggs underneath them. So
like
what?
13,
Yeah,
14
I
at
was gonna say.
least.
So we'll definitely have
It's gonna be
an
interesting.
army of ducklings going across the yard pretty soon.
It's gonna be interesting. Bruce is
Hello,
in the
Bruce.
house.
So how many swarms have you gotten already this spring, Bruce?
Yes.
Actually,
I need to get into my hive.
About our hives, and we were even thinking about splitting one.
Yeah, I think I'll probably split both of them, honestly. But then I'm sure,
definitely.
like, we're just now starting to see swarms in our area. Like, consistently, I'm seeing posts for swarms. So I'm trying not to get too crazy, like, with splitting right now, because I'm afraid, like, I'll split and then I'll have 4 hives, and then I'll get calls for, like, 4 swarms, and I won't want to turn any of them down. So
but of course, we lost a couple over the winter, so we definitely have boxes
we have room.
for more.
Yeah, we definitely have the equipment now, which is the hard part of beekeeping, I think, personally.
Crazy Life said you're going to fall in love with Baker's Creek.
I really wanted to go to that festival. Like, that is just so amazing. Emma says, I'm so excited about the festival. It's only 3 hours from us. Also getting to meet Lorella's crew. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's exciting.
That's super great. So you kind of like getting 2 birds with 1 stone there.
3 hours.
Awesome.
That's an easy drive.
That is an easy drive.
Homesteads of America drive.
I don't know how you did that. 8 hours, and I was like, I'm done driving. You're like, what, 12, 13 hours all on your lonesome?
Yeah.
Like,
Wholesome roots. Ryan is working on growing a mullet, and Odin has a sweet one. There you go. Got some mullet fans in the house.
That's okay. That's cool. I'm just like, if I could, I would still love you.
In the picture,
I would still love you, but I would have to really get used to that.
With the beard, it looked more like a Billy Ray Cyrus.
It did look like Billy. So the reason that Margie asked that is about 2 years ago. Was it 2? It's 3 years now. That they did a father-daughter dance, and it was 80s themed. So Mark had like on like the khaki suit, like with like a Hawaiian shirt underneath of it, and like a mullet. It was very interesting.
Wholesome Roots is also a fan of rat tails. That is awesome.
Mullet wasn't a thing in SoCal in the 80s, thinking,
you guys are too cool on the West Coast.
Well, it's something here right now.
It's coming back.
I don't like it.
Watch out, may hit Missouri soon. So
we have 3 ducks that have gone broody.
Once
awesome. They do too, I'm just like, I don't know what it is about ducks, but I don't want to pull them off of nests like I do my chickens. My chickens, I'm like, quit that. My ducks, I'm like, you do your thing. But we really like our ducks.
Bruce said 12 swarms so far.
And that's a slow season.
So what are you normally at? Are you like double that?
I know. So where are you usually at around this time of year?
Them, so
I'm so excited for you though. Like, that just seems like that would be so much fun to do all the time. I just get goat questions all the time, which is totally fine. I don't mind goat questions all the time. It's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Emma says, 14-hour drive straight all by myself, but it was worth it. It was a fantastic conference. I'm really excited for this year. Like, super duper excited. Cannot wait.
And we still have failed to get our reservations up for the room. I need some input.
It's your job. I don't care where I sleep.
You say that.
I want to sleep in a bed. Okay.
There you go.
I want to sleep in a bed.
No tent. No, I'm kidding.
If you want a tent, we can camp. I would do that.
I know we're so busy during the day. I want to get some good rest. Let's say Josh, I brought the
Plus I snore, so anybody that was close to my tent would be like, there's a dying animal in that tent. So not going to subject that. Mark's like, yes, especially because you guys can tell, like, I'm still getting over my sickness last week. This time last week, I thought I was dying. I couldn't get warm
because I had it first.
Yeah, he had it first, and like I escaped it for about 2 weeks, and all of a sudden, like at work, I'm like, I can't do this, and I slept for like 6 hours under 4 blankets with the dog on the bed. Got up to milk and to feed animals, eat a little bit of dinner, and I went right back to bed. So that's like all I did that night. And in milking, like you can tell when you have a fever and you're taking care of animals because everything aches, and you're just like, please don't fight me. And of course, Dilly, Margie, you're gonna have a talk with your girl Dilly. I was walking right by her, and it's like she
usually
knew.
Around 40 or 50.
What?
Wow, that is way down there.
Dang! But does that mean then, like all of a sudden in one weekend, you're gonna get like 50 calls?
Yeah. That
is the weather like off in your area?
Yeah, for it to be down that much? That's a huge drop.
That is pretty crazy. Okay, Emma says, yeah, mullets are back here in Missouri and ugh. Thankfully, Issa's boat doesn't have one. Emma knows. She's like, we. I'm like, I don't take care of that. I got the tickets.
Yeah.
I got the tickets. I told you where we're going.
I think we need to look into, what is it? Airbnb. Yeah. I think Mrozinski's mentioned it. So
yeah.
I know Emma said that she got a hotel close, or like right in next door, or close to it. So
yeah,
make it nice. Wholesome Root said we drove 13 hours to HOA to give my goat class.
Wow, you did a goat class? When did you do a goat class? Are you doing a goat class, or is there a goat class this year? Rose, I have questions. The goat class. I have questions.
What was the family you talked to with the Nigerians? Wasn't it?
Oh, that was Dawson Dairy Goats. They make their own feed and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I won't talk about how I just totally nerded out like when I went over there.
Yeah.
But their eyes lit up like when you goat people meet other goat people and they know what they're talking about, and like you can just tell that you're just like, okay, this is my person. And I talked to just you for a little bit.
Are you doing the goat class again this year?
Yeah, because I want there to be a goat class.
I didn't see that on the schedule.
No, I would.
But there was like a lot going on, so it was hard to keep track. Because like on top of the sessions and seminars, like there was little classes off to the side going on. Yeah, there was a guy working on knives and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's what Matt should do, Emma.
So Bruce said weather is all over the place. That's part of it.
That way here.
It's been really weird. Like I have to get into my hives though, like Saturday. Have to. I'm sure I'm gonna get in there and find queen's hills. Mm-hmm. I know I am because I've just been neglectful again. But it's just because now that we kid in the spring, that's where my focus is at. Yeah. So then everything comes after. And I think my one doe was supposed to be due yesterday.
Hey, Rick. What's
up, buddy?
We got to jump over after or jump on our live after listening to his.
We got to listen to yours for a little bit. I was trying to hustle around the house and clean a little.
Mm-hmm. I liked it. The tire kicker. That was cool.
Tire thumper.
Yeah, tire thumper. That's what he's calling it.
And then Margie says, my dilly is a dilly. Yes, she was. She horned me. I walked by trying to chase the one doe that does not like come running to get milked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like she knew I was in a weakened state with my fever and she horned me in the leg. I was like, if I felt good enough, I would wear you up and out. I would wear you out up and down this field, but I just want to get milking done so I can go back in and lay down.
Yeah.
It's like she knew I wasn't going to challenge back. I'm like, whatever.
All Wholesome Roots said was 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
We should do it again.
Do it again. Goats are awesome. People need to learn about goats.
She did say not this year down there, so she answered it before we even asked. Emma said, Matt booked our hotel. I just gave him the days, and he got it all taken care of. I need to be on it. I'll wait too long, and then
it'll be
less
fine.
options.
It'll be fine. I'll send you a text tomorrow while we're working, which we work like right next to each other. So it's great when I send him a text.
Bruce asked, do goat people butt heads? Figuratively, yes.
Yes.
So.
And there are specific
if you go on any of the online goat forums, you'll see plenty of butting heads.
Gosh.
I actually had one jump on her about, was it the E. coli?
Yeah, I don't. It's cool. Don't get me started. He was trying to jump my crap over saying to look for coccidiosis. He's like, it's obviously E. coli. And she's like, and mine was just like this because my kid went down and the vet said it was E. coli because of meconium intake. I'm like, well, her kid is 9 weeks old. Your kid, I'm guessing, you didn't give me an age. I'm like, was probably a newborn because meconium is the first poo. Like, there's no way that the intake of meconium is just now affecting this kid at 9 weeks. Like, 9 weeks is peak for coccidiosis. She needs to get a fecal, she needs to get it warm, and she needs to go from there. And he's like, yeah, you're right, it was a newborn. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't notice the age. I'm like, don't jump my crap. Like, I read the post, you didn't.
Like, she got your defense ready.
It got me so upset. I'm like, don't sit there and yell at me how I'm wrong. You didn't even read the post all the way.
So, Bruce, yes, they butt heads.
Yeah, we do.
Emma said, I remember Rose from HOA that year. I didn't have a channel yet, but I recognized her.
Oh,
cool. She's asking, was
Rose, are you coming this year?
I hope so. We'll definitely have to meet up. Bill Davis.
Bill?
I said William.
Trying to get sneaky with the William.
Does all the work.
He does do all the work. I just take care of the animals. No, but
the animals is a full-time job. But.
Well, no. You are right, though, because this weekend I am
sorry, Bill. We didn't get to come out and see you, though, the other day. We were working, so Hopefully you had fun with the baby goats.
Yeah, Bill is a coworker, or I guess an ex-coworker, Bill, because you retired and I got out of there. Who came over and visited us, and he came over last week, but we were working, so I didn't get to really hang out and say hello.
Yeah, I was on a call the whole time. I'm like hoping it would end early so I could sneak out, but unfortunately it didn't. It was actually my planning week, so all week I was on calls all day.
Last week was kind of ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie.
But I will say we need to get together and go to the range. Ashley,
Marky's you could let them come around and hold baby goats. Like, they need to come around and we need to go throw lead.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's okay, you can do that. And Emma says everybody butts heads about something. Mm-hmm. Is that not the truth?
Yeah, I think any space gardening I've heard.
Is that not the truth? Oh my goodness.
Chickens, there's some. We watched a documentary about show chickens.
Okay, you guys have probably watched that, like Chicken People, about the people that show chicken, which I have, like, my maid of honor was like super big. She's like a master exhibitor. Her husband is a master exhibitor. So like watching this, I'm like, yeah, this is Gene and Jake. Like 100%. I know this is for reals. Like this isn't like out of the norm for people that take it very seriously. But the same could be said for goat people that take it like super seriously.
For sure. Maybe Bruce, do you butt heads with other bee people?
Oh, we know Bruce does. Yeah. Especially when it comes to treatment or treatment free, you know?
Folsom Root said, or Rose, I guess, I was pregnant with Odin early. He turns 2 next week.
Oh. Did that make it tough for you to like travel and take care of everything? Because like, man, when I was pregnant, I didn't want to do anything, even though I didn't know I was pregnant most of my pregnancy. I was one of those weird people. I was 6.5 months pregnant before I found out I was pregnant.
Yep. Surprise.
Woohoo! You have 2.5 months to get ready for the biggest change of your life.
Hello, Nice Farm Homestead. Good to have you here tonight.
Hey, how's it going? Get them. I know. You deal with the same thing, and I'm sure Jacob. Is it Jacob or is this Tanya that's on here right now? Jacob, I see you get people all the time, and that goat tips and tricks. So I'm like, get them, set them straight. Everything is solved with selenium and copper bolus. I'm like, God.
Yeah.
It can't always be copper and selenium. It can be other things.
Yeah. Emma said, gotta love the mansplaining. Yeah. Bruce said, what's everyone going to? We're talking about HOA.
Bruce, are you going to go? Please say yes.
Yeah, it'd be cool to hang out.
Please say yes. I think you would really enjoy it. And we would really enjoy getting to meet you and hanging out, because it is like so much fun to go and hang out with everybody.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I didn't think it was going to be as interactive and a bonding experience with other like-minded people until we got there. And I'm like, we have to do this like as often as we can. We need to come to this. So we're going this year again.
Oh, Sandy said, kids have to go. Congrats on 2K. 5K is just around the corner.
Let's hope.
Yeah. We never thought it'd get to 2K, but we're happy we're there.
We're happy we're here.
We'll say the people we've met and the relationships we've built is just awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
It really helps encourage you on the homestead.
It does.
Ashley's talked about before the ups and downs you have with it, especially with goats. You can have up and downs.
We had that. Was that last week? I didn't get to talk to you guys about that, but like, we've we're inviting like more people to come out and see the farm and to be a part of it, and to look, and like I think I'm going to start offering like chicken processing services, and I'm getting ready to get a license for pet consumption milk, and I want to interact more with like the communities that we're in, and I want to provide them with things so they're not dependent on a grocery store. I'd much rather them come to me and like maybe spark a passion with them. But anyways, but it was just kind of funny because like we were talking to somebody, and a lot of times when they come, they're like, I would give anything for this life, and it's tough because like last Sunday. Yeah. Like it was an emergency vet call. Like I'd had babies disbudded on Friday. I missed her warning signs on Saturday while I was milk testing. And Sunday I was like, something is really wrong with this kid. I'm like, I feel like it had something to do with the disbudding. She wouldn't eat. It's like she forgot how to eat. She had no suckle reflex. Temperature was good. She just was like a dummy. Like just a dummy. So we took her to the vet because I didn't know how to tube feed. It's not something that I've learned to do yet, but I bought my own tube feeding kit because I need to learn how to do it myself.
Which a vet sort of explained it to you a little bit.
He explained it and showed me some tips and tricks.
So it was a learning experience there.
So like he tubed her, and I was like, well, if this is it, if this is all that it is, like if we can keep her fed through tube, till she can kind of regain, because sometimes they do come out of funks like that.
Yeah.
But like it was like I had a lactate ringer, so I was IVing, like I was out there 2 or 3 times IVing fluids into her. We were tube feeding her, and then for her still to come in Monday, I was like, Sunday night, I'm like, I'm gonna put you with your mom, because if you're going to go, like, I don't want you to go inside in a box in blankets. I want you to go with your mom and your brother, like. And she made it through the night. She seemed like she was going to be okay, so I brought her in and put her on a heating blanket, and she just went to sleep and she didn't wake up. Yeah. And that's where I find it hard, because I'm like, it's so easy to come out and be like, oh, I love the baby goats, they're so wonderful. I'm like, if you only knew the heartbreak that comes with this, though. But I don't wish that on anybody if they don't want to experience it. It was just like,
it's a down on your day for a bit.
Yeah, someone's like, I was killed for this life, and I'm like, there are sometimes I would walk away from this life, but definitely the pros and the rewards outweigh the cons and the losses. Sorry, there's my sob story. I didn't get to tell you guys last week. But in my vet, that's the only time I've ever had any problems with disbudding an animal. Ever. In like my 10 years, hundreds of animals being disbudded.
We think part of it was probably too because we had a large group of
it was a
kids
group of 10 kids.
We're disbudding at once.
Yeah. And hers was an electric. Was it electric or
it was an electric?
It was electric.
Yeah.
So it takes them a lot longer to warm up. And then as you're disbudding, it will lose heat.
Yeah.
And she was towards the end of the group. So I think like it wasn't as hot. So I think she had to spend more time getting around that horn bud. And I think she spent too much time. And that's just something that you kind of, you gamble with that. With us showing and with the people that buy from us, disbudding is required. So it kind of sucks, but that's part of it.
Yeah. Like Ashley said, it's the first one we had that had a bad reaction to it, fortunately. So
yeah, and I mean, I like once I'm done,
high odd thing that happens.
100%. After we're done, like I apply Fight Back, like on the burn, like for like like when you're spraying down like an udder for bacterial infections. I spray that. I give them a little bit of syringed oral Banamine to help with inflammation, and I give them a little bit of thiamine. I almost treat them like a polio kid and send them on it and watch them. But she just kind of went under the radar. I'd separated everybody. We were milk testing, so I just noticed like Saturday evening, I'm like, she's not really coming to the bottle, but she ran from me to get away from me. So I'm like, well, she feels good enough to run. She's not screaming or anything. She's fine.
Because sometimes they do and go into like a little bit of a lull or a little bit of shock after what happens.
That's not uncommon. It's a stressful experience. But that's why we Banamine and we do the Fight Back and we watch them and treat them like a polio kid and give them thiamine and be complex. So
for sure. Nightfall said it's Jake.
Oh, is it Jake?
Yep.
Hello, Jake.
Bruce said when and where.
I'm sure someone's already. Yeah, I was going to say we're a little bit behind. So thank you, Emma.
So Bruce, if you can make it, be there.
It's so much fun.
It would be awesome to hang out with you. So
you would love it, and we would love it.
My mom's account is hacked by William. It says.
Hi, this is William. Hello, William. Darren, what's up?
Hey, Darren, how's it going?
We do look pretty good tonight,
I know.
Don't we?
Even better if you had the Mulberry branch gear on.
I know. But
I don't know if we can pull it off as good as Darren does in his A Little Dirt Doesn't Hurt hoodie.
I need to buy it,
He supports it. I'm wearing it more than we do.
He does. Well, I wear mine, but mine's usually like under a flannel in the barn, and it gets so disgusting.
I will say, Darren's new live chat setup is sweet, though. I like his background.
Oh,
and his
yeah. Marky was commenting on that the other day.
I was...
He was like, that's really nice. And I'm like, he's putting us to shame. We could just sit in the back of our kitchen.
No. Bruce said you could drive to that?
Oh, well, then Bruce, you better drive.
No.
We'd love to see you.
Emma said there'll be some fanboying, fangirling at HOA, but it's largely about learning and building community. Yep.
100%.
Yeah, they got 100%. Some new speakers this year, too, that are exciting. So
yeah, they do. We're super excited about it. Oh, wait. Go back up for a second.
Oh,
While are you out of here? Thank you for the congrats and thank you for hanging out.
Yep. Let's see. If you get a goat class, there are going to be a lot of talking goats.
Yeah, I bet. A lot of talking about goats. It all depends on your approach on how you do that.
Yeah. Bruce said, if nobody fangirls, fanboys over me, I'm storming out.
We will.
Yeah.
We will.
Yeah, we will.
It's Bruce.
Yeah.
It's the Swarm King.
Like we said before, though, we're actually sort of shy in person, so
It's easy here. I don't have to see any of you guys who try to read your body language or try to hope that you're taking
like
things
we're
how I
bugging
want
people
you to.
sometimes when we go up, so we're a little hesitant. But Darren said, I think I need to actually wash my Mulberry Branch hoodie. I love it. Everyone needs one.
Yeah, they do. I need to make more.
Darren, what's crazy is that the snow finally melted there.
I saw.
It's like, wow.
Are you like,
I'm upset the weather's up and down, like with rain and sunny, and then he's like, snow's finally melting.
Yeah, I know. I saw you guys had pictures of crocus, and I'm like, man, I remember that, like that feeling, like when you see the first crocus of the year, like the end is in sight. So I'm really hoping it goes really fast.
William asked, where's Joe? She's just hanging out in her room. Yeah. She's getting ready.
She doesn't usually hang out with us.
I think we mentioned before she's gained interest in parakeets. So
very much interested.
Finishing up the cage and
reorganizing her room so that when when parakeets happen.
I feel like the light's flickering.
It is kind of.
Okay. Like losing
Stop.
power.
I have problems with like focus, not having focus anyways. But she's been very engaged in learning about parakeets.
She has been doing her studying and learning about them, so it's
kind of funny. She's like, they don't do good by themselves. I'm like, Joe, that's just what people suggest. I'm like, I bet that's what I sound like talking about goats.
Yeah.
So I have to allow it,
But we sort of made a deal with her. If she ends up with straight A's by the end of the year, she can get one.
She's pretty much on track. She's only got like one class that fluctuates up and down. So
she's close.
And she hit her first home run last week.
Yeah,
last weekend.
Which is exciting.
I was like,
a bit of bragging there. She deserves it though.
I've never been one of those moms where I'm like, go, but I was up out of my seat and I'm like, run, keep going, because it was a straight down the first baseline and sailed back into right field and landed like just inbounds. So I was like, fair ball, run. Yeah. You could tell like the parents around me knew who my kid was at that moment because I was like, go.
Darren said, dude, we can wear shorts and still keep our beer cold in a snowbank. That's crazy.
That is amazing.
You can get out the onesie again. That's one of my favorite videos.
Marky loves that video of you in the onesie. Like, it's ridiculous. I think he has a low-key crush on you. Because he's like,
you pull off a onesie,
he's like, you remember that time Jared wore that onesie and slipped on the ice?
Fashionable and everything.
I'm like, calm down.
Margie said she wears her Queen Dilly sweatshirt all the time.
Do you? I'm so glad to hear that. Awesome. I really am. Yeah, Bruce, I'm with you. Emma, if you don't fangirl for Bruce A, like, come on. Just one little fangirl.
She already met him, so
that's okay. Like, it can be like a secondary fangirl.
Crazy Life did say that Keats are louder with buddies.
Yes, I read that.
And she told us that they can't be just one. So
she's like, it's like Goat's mom.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. Well, thanks for stopping in, Bruce.
Gotta lock up the birds. Later. I know how that goes.
That's what we have to do our lives. This. So,
yep. It's a mutual bro crush. Tell you what.
Get those guys with beards together and just start. It's a connection.
Yeah. Darren, you made me laugh with your comment on that hair cutting photo where it's like, I'm going to keep the clippers away from you when we come down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too, because apparently I don't even keep track of my own hair. If I've got clippers in my hand, it's all up in the air. We don't know who's going to lose a chunk of hair.
Crazy Life said not true about one keep. They bond with their human faster.
Really?
Well, thank you for telling us that, because we'll definitely
relate. That'd be a good point for me.
Start out with one, Joe.
Well, then she's like, I'm going to get another one. I'll have to keep it separated for like 40 days for like quarantine purposes. Yeah. I'm like, are you telling me I have to buy you another cage? Because like,
then she kept telling us like, she kept needing a bigger and bigger cage for this reason.
To the point where I'm like, is your room just going to be a cage?
I just told her, I'm like, oh, well, how about we just get those like beads that you hang over the door, and you could just use that and just leave it. She's like, no, get on my bed. I'm like, well, how big a cage can you fit in there?
You want?
We don't live in a mansion. I have so much room in there. So.
And she just made me rearrange. Well, she didn't make me. She just got me to rearrange her room for her, like, not even a couple months ago. I'm like, are you telling me I have to do this again?
Yeah.
Because it was awful. Joe loved it, though, because she's like, I want it just a little bit further to the left. I'm going to punch you. Stop
I'm excited for Matt to meet y'all. He'll fit in with the beard. Yes, he's another beard brother. I think it's going
to be super exciting to sit down and meet Matt.
Yep.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm trying not to think too far ahead because then I'll wish like the whole spring and the whole summer away, which spring is almost over anyways. We're almost in the 80s all next week.
Yep.
Highs in the 80s. It's been crazy.
Yep.
But we're rainy and kind of gross today, so
yep.
I don't know.
Crazy
yeah, we're super excited.
Crazy Life said 2 or more turn into a circus, then don't respond to human bonding. I could see it being a circus.
We're going to probably try to push her to just one then.
Aaron said Brigitte just shouted across the house. Are they doing great? We're doing great. Yeah. Busy, but great. You know how that goes. On that note, have you got a goat yet, Darren?
Yeah.
Where's
you guys are getting alpines, right?
You know that pressure is coming from us.
Well, they have to wait for the springtime. And up there, they're just starting to thaw out. So it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Can you make one size hoodies? I don't know, bud. What size do you need? I've got kids' hoodies. I've got adult hoodies. I've got all the hoodies.
His birthday's coming up, so.
This is true. But I thought you wanted like those little like things that you like play with on your fingers, like the skates and the skateboard. Like the stuff that was in when I was a kid.
Crazy Life said I had 3 babies that I had to hand feed, and they knew who Mama was. They bonded strong with me and my boys. Oh,
that's so
Crazy
cool.
Life's the one that had all the exotic birds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Yeah, because the last time we were talking about this, I'm like, thank God I'll have somebody I can ask questions because.
Nightfall said, "Don't even get me started on the weather in Iowa."
I bet.
I mean, out west, we've been getting it here, of course, after the fact it comes from the west. But fortunately, when it gets here, it's just been rain, and cloudy. But out west, it's been pretty.
And it hasn't been extremely cold. I think like last week we had like a couple days where it got down to like low 30s, where we had a couple frosts. But
I think Wichita just got hit with the tornado last week or
a
couple days ago.
Yeah, I'm really hoping to get all these. I say that, but I've got to show them. I really need to go and I need to get bedding for my goats, and I need to go get potting soil for all of my beds over there. That's insane. I don't even know how many bags that's going to be. But I really want to get them out like next week when it's so warm, because then it's like I don't have to worry about the temperature of the soil too much stunting them.
Yeah.
Not to mention they've all been hardening off like for a week out there. I haven't brought them in about a week, so that's kind of nice.
Definitely.
And Mother Nature's been watering
their first homestead meetup in Canada is Saturday.
I saw Angie posted about that for Me and You Acres.
That is awesome.
You guys are going to do like a live roundtable, right? Because you guys are all going to be together. Because I think that is so awesome that you guys actually get to like kind of do like the whole conference thing and like meet up with one another and hang out. I just think that's going to be so nice.
Be cool.
Dee's Homestead, what's up, bud?
Yep.
It's okay to be late. We're just glad you're here.
Nightfall said rain and cold and wind and cold and rain and then one day of seriously 85, then back down to 45.
It's those days where it's like up here and then the next day you're like, what is happening?
That's sort of what wrecks havoc on your sinuses and sicknesses going around.
Yeah, actually like the day I got sick, it was like that. The day before was like in the 80s and the next morning we were in the 30s. And I think that was what tipped me over the edge.
Mm-hmm. Darren said snow's almost gone. In a couple weeks, I can start drilling post holes.
Yep,
there you
go.
Oh, Rosinski's here tonight.
Hello. I'm glad you made it too. Then Patty says Oregon has been very wet with the snow tossed in, and May is still. I feel so sorry for you guys going through all of that. That is just like awful.
Yeah,
it's awful. Where we are getting like the glimpses of hope, where it's like staying in the 50s at night, where I'm like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this. It's okay.
Yeah. Gives you a little hope when you get those warm-ups.
Yeah. It really does.
But fortunately, like the weather's been nice enough. Ashley's been able to put her starts outside, so they're doing well out there. Then
could be doing better.
Well, the tomatoes are doing better than your mom's.
Yeah, it's funny. I got pink German tomatoes from Baker Creek, and I got my mom a seed packet because she's crazy for German tomatoes.
Yeah.
So I got her this packet. And she's like, what's wrong with that tomatoes you got me? She's like, I started them like a month ago, and the suckers are like this big. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. She's like, did you start some of yours?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to hear it. I'm like, they're like this tall.
Well, hers kept growing, but then the stem was like a hair, she said. Like they wouldn't.
She said they were super like leggy.
Up. And
I told her, I'm like, run a fan or like put them outside. Like she's like, but she lives in the woods and they have issues with critters. Yeah, but
Yeah, it was fun.
I was like, I'll bring you bunny poo, I'll bring you goat poo, you can make your own teas or like whatever compost tea you want out of it and try that. But she's like, I'm feeding them like all the time.
Yeah.
So I did give her some of mine. I just went ahead and separated out like 2 soil blocks that had 6 plants between the 2 soil blocks and just potted them and took them to her because I'm like, here, maybe these will do better for you. She gets so mad. She gets so mad.
Well, like Ashley said, they're in a wooded area too, and so it's like hard for them to get sunshine through. Like it's a pretty heavy canopy over them. Where you grew up, it's like dense woods.
It is dense wood. It's like it's big woods. So like when you guys, anybody that's ever watched like the deer hunting videos that I've done, like there's not a lot of them out there, but I do have a few.
Yeah.
Like that's my mom's property, and like what you see like in the deer hunting videos, like that's the way it is, except for just like immediately around the house.
I mean, there's not much undergrowth under the tree canopy.
It's very filtered light, so anything that needs a lot of sun is going to get leggy and reach. And her tomatoes usually do get pretty tall, but it's got to reach.
Too, like when the wind blows, it's like everything's
so scary.
Moving. Yeah.
It's like, okay, are we gonna have to file an insurance claim? But they've been lucky the last couple of years. So
thankful. It was Jacob, right?
Yeah.
Jacob said, I need to process rabbits, and last weekend I'm like 47 and rainy.
Yeah.
We had a friend actually reach out today. He moved nearby recently. And they bought, what was it, 49 meat chickens or something?
A lot of meat chickens.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, you process chickens recently. Can you help? And we're like,
sure,
we're glad to help
we'll bring
them.
Down the plucker and we'll teach you.
Yeah, we got some of the tools now and can definitely show them, but they'll be definitely helping. So more hands the merrier, but that's going to be
it's going to be an endeavor.
Yeah.
Because like when we did it, we only had like 10 maybe.
So how many rabbits do you have to process? Understandably.
Yeah, how many do you have?
That'd be cool to learn to do too. I'd like to learn to.
Yeah, I shouldn't say we enjoyed it. It was great to learn how to process a goat. We were very I was very excited about that. And
definitely
then the ribs
things
were
we could do
fantastic.
better, but I think overall, all we could consider it a success. I mean, we got meat out.
Yeah, anything having gaining knowledge and experience, especially right now with like how, and I mean the food shortages. I'm going to be that doom and gloom. They're going to get worse.
Yeah, we actually made way worse. Set of ribs off of them the other day, and it was pretty good.
Yeah. So we're all about that
not a lot of meat,
food freedom. I want freedom from our food chain, and that means knowing how to do some of those things for ourselves.
Not just freedom, but can you afford the food chain
right now?
I watched the Ashley was like zoning out of it, but I was watching the Fed meeting today, and I hate to say it, but
they said it's going to get worse.
Doesn't sound like better times are ahead yet. So
yeah, I can't control it. So Darren said, "All right, guys, got to make more videos, respond to work emails, and more before we leave for the conference. We so want to catch up with you guys. We're so glad that you got to stop in a little bit tonight. So thank you for that.
Yeah. I know initially, Darren, you'd reached out about when talking about goats when you were getting ready to get started.
Whenever you guys want, let us know.
Feel free. We'd love to.
Yeah, so. We have other people reaching out daily, anyways. So just throw right on top.
Open invite. Jacob said, hey, sure, I'll take 50% of your meat birds. We did 40 meat birds by hand last year. Have 10 rabbits to process right now, and I'm looking for boar semen right now for bacon seeds. There you go.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I'd love to have we'd love to get pigs at one point, but right now we're still stretched a little thin. So
the time that we have right now for projects is just very limited.
Yeah,
we still need to finish the duck coop.
Like a lot of it's also putting finishing touches on stuff like the garden boxes. And the new garden space, where I think go forward it'll benefit us a lot. But
it's just a little bit of work to get it up to speed. Which it's like that with any type of building of infrastructure, like especially like raised garden beds or like installing a new in-ground garden. And this year, anybody out there use like the weed blocking materials for like their in-ground gardens? What do you use? Because I'm done with weeds. I'm not doing it this year. I'm going to lay something down, and I want to try it this year because my back can't take it. Nor do we really have the time with like milking and 4-H and softball and just with the and you guys can definitely, I'm sure you feel that pain, but like with the culmination of all of those things, like I don't have time to worry about weeds, especially in a large area like this. But the in-ground, mostly we're going to be doing mostly corn over there, I think. I'm not sure what else. I'm going to probably just
Yeah, you'll
free
throw
fling
some other
sunflowers and
varieties in
stuff.
there. Yeah.
I'm sure probably like squash or something over
Watermelon, maybe.
there. Yeah.
Mix a couple different things. But
Yeah.
since it's a brand new space and we honestly starting from scratch, it'd be nice to get a good start on something like that.
Yeah, and I'm not going to do like the 10 varieties of corn like I've done in the past. I love doing like so many varieties, but when it comes to corn, like I've just noticed like what varieties so far here do well and what don't fare well.
I also think because your garden boxes have expanded quite a bit, you have more space over there to try new things. So you can definitely mix and match.
I'm sorry, I was reading Jacob's comment. He's like, and now I have a barn cat having kittens. Can I eat those? In other cultures, it's completely acceptable to eat those. It's okay. I'm sure if you're super hungry, it tastes just like chicken.
How far away are you, Jacob? We could use another barn
Iowa.
cat. We lost one. That's right.
Yeah.
You did say Iowa. Oh, that's a little.
Yeah, I was so awful because like we lost her in March, and I'm just now putting that in one of the videos where I'm like, oh my god, I'm so far behind.
Yeah. We have one cat remaining. She's a little bit of a barn cat. Yeah. She does pretty well.
She kills full-grown rabbits.
Yeah.
And just like
she hunted down a full-grown rabbit and brought it on the deck the other day. So.
And she ate all of it. She didn't share it with the dogs, and she didn't share it with the ducks or the chickens. Like she ate the entire rabbit.
I feel like she's more out on the prowl than in the barn now.
She is. She's not in the barn very often.
Plus the fact, like the neighbor sometimes will set feed out for her because she's pretty friendly. So she's got
a really nice coat. She's super fat.
Yeah, she's about the size of Garfield now.
Yeah, so. She is. But
I don't know how she cut the rabbit.
She still gets rabbits. So.
Yeah, and birds. She doesn't get birds once in a while too. I almost said that folks at work today that she told them that they call piglets bacon seeds. They got a good laugh like when they call them bacon seeds.
Brzezinski Family Homestead said, so after someone shot my rain barrel last week, after spending the weekend hauling water to my new water tank, went out today to water garden and found that the valve was dry rotted. I am so sorry. Though.
So that's sort of scary. Like I said, I mess with guns.
Okay, and stuff like where's your water barrel?
Yeah, that's sort of terrifying.
Is that like close to your house?
Yeah, like.
And like, you'd have not good neighbors.
Yeah.
No joke. We've got a neighbor behind us. Like every now and then, like he will just let off like an entire clip, and it sounds like defensive shooting because it's like bah, 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 and like and then it's nothing. But the one time, like they came through the woods up here, and I was like, "What in the world?" You know, because like we were actually out working over there. Because you can tell like ricochets. You can almost hear like the bullet hit something. It's like so like you could hear it going through the woods. I'm like, okay, like I know you can't see us over here, but we are here. Yeah. We take great pains, especially with our coyote issue, not to shoot in an unsafe area.
Well, that's just common sense.
Yeah. But some people don't have that though.
That's scary though. Someone
I know. Like if it's up against my house, I'd be like,
do I need to be defensive here? Because
need to be careful. Emma says adding pigs, so many goats. Do you have
Yeah, you have no clue.
We're close to 50 right now.
We're over 50.
No, we're close.
You just keep reducing that number to make me feel better. No, we can add a couple more.
But here's the thing, like, so we're at 50, but you guys have to keep in mind, like, of like the 22 kids on the ground, 14 are bucks. 14. So 14 will go away. Bucks. We're doing linear appraisals this year. I've already started. I've done my second milk test. And already with some of those numbers, I already know who's leaving. Like I already know who's going out the door. So, and I have one suspected hermaphrodite goat that I don't want to pay for the DNA test. So I'm going to be doing the tube test, which is inserting a tube and seeing how far it will go in. And if it doesn't go very far in, it's because there's no reproductive organ attached to the genitalia. In which case, like I will know, like that's why she's not conceived in the last 3 years that I've had her. She never seems to really go into
really stinks because she has good bloodlines. Some of the best pedigrees. We traveled down to Kentucky to get her.
3-hour drive.
Yeah,
and she's a Hermie, and I feel like they may have known she was a Hermie
and didn't tell me. Right?
Huh?
Tiger Lily and
Tiger Lily's the
Raven,
Hermie.
Right?
Yeah,
get them both.
Reagan and Tiger Lily. Yeah. But the thing is, like from the outside, she doesn't look like a Hermie. Like she's actually like her parts are actually pretty small. But like when I bought her as like a yearling, like the small parts weren't a concern. But apparently, like as they get older, it's like that's part of it. She never has strong heats. She never, I don't know. It's very odd. But I need to do the tube test to see if I've got a Hermie on my hands, which I'm pretty sure I do after 3 years of like multiple bucks and nobody's gotten her to settle. I'm pretty sure she's a Hermie.
Yeah.
How many stamps to ship one?
Not kidding.
Oh. I don't know how many. No. Just put a couple on there and send and see what happens.
They remind me of the what was that? The Christmas one. Remember the uncle brings the cat in a box and it's shaking, and gets out, bites the Christmas lights, catches the
say grace.
She passed away a couple years ago. Oh Lord, that's a great movie. Yep.
Emma says in ground. I'm planting amaranth. Beautiful, love amaranth. Great fodder source too. Black-eyed Susan, sunflowers, and Allison. That's gonna be so wonderful.
That's gonna be
so awesome. Wonderful. She's like, no, our new property. They were turkey hunt. No,
they were turkey.
They were turkey hunting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
But still like even as a hunter, like it is your responsibility to know that behind your target there's nothing. And I know that a rain barrel. They know you're not there, but still, like any structural damage to someone's property, for me, I'm like, that's irresponsible. You don't do that, you know. I'm sorry about that, Brzezinski. Like that that sucks.
And then the new barrel had the dry rotted spigot, so it's like,
I know that's one of those where you just have to laugh rather than cry, because it's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. I hate when you have projects like that where you go to fix something, something else breaks on it.
Well, especially like when it comes to water. And moving water, because that's not an easy task. So like for someone to shoot a rain barrel out, that probably, depending on what portion they shot, like you lost a lot of water from that, and then not be able to get it out because of the dry rot. It's just like, okay, like, I'm just not supposed to garden. It's not in the cards for me to garden. But kudos to you for sticking with it, because at that point I might just kick the whole thing over and been like, I'm done. Planter Garden TV. Hello. Thank you so much. How are you doing this evening? Good to see you.
Emma said you should always know what's behind behind what you're shooting, always.
Which is why we almost never get to shoot at the stupid
main
coyote.
Foundational rules of shooting. Yep.
Yeah. I did get a chance to take a shot at the coyote, even though he was on a dead run. I'm like, there's nothing behind you. You're going down into a divot. I'm taking a Hail Mary. I didn't hit him, but at least he knew. I know you're there.
Yeah, he's still tormenting us a bit.
Super wily though, like, and I'm not like, I guess pun intended.
But the funny thing is, like, how animals in the area, or our animals, have started to notice he's coming around a little bit more, because
they'll tell us.
Dilly will go out first and look, and then bring the rest of the herd out with her.
Or the donkey. Like, it's just been weird, like, because like the times that we haven't like known it was there, but just like watching the animals, like every goat is locked onto something in the tree line, and the donkeys are moving in that direction and go to look, and I'm like, that SOB is standing on the other side of the fence.
Yep.
So I don't know. I really want to trap, but I think I will catch my own dogs, and I'm not gonna chance my own dogs.
It sounds like you need a roadrunner.
I know he is a wily one too. Let me tell you what.
Cartoons. He had a mug with the wily coyote.
The one morning I saw it back there, so I walked back in and I got the rifle and I walked back out, and I've gotten it to where, like, as long as I hug this tree line, it can't see because of the way that it rolls. Our property rolls. And like I was walking along the fence line, and I'm like, man, it's already gone, and stopped and looked, and like right in the break of like these two trees, like down into the dip where I actually took a shot at him about 2 days later, he was just sitting and looking at me. So I got the rifle up, and we have like a night scope, but it requires batteries, and it requires me to hit the on button. And I already like had hit the on button, pull it up, batteries are dead. I'm like, I came in, I was so angry. I was like, I finally get to, it's sitting there. Look, it's like it knew. It's like, you don't know this, but your batteries on your scope are out, and you won't be able to see me through the scope.
Always those moments.
I was so, and the dogs. So I opened up the gate and let the dogs, and they ran within 30 yards of it. It still sat there. They ran like right by it. I'm like, this SOB. Like I can't even do this. And of course, the time I got to take a shot at, I had the fever. Mark was on those calls. He's like, the coyote's out there right now. And I've got like my blanket, got the chills. Like, okay, let's go back there. It sounds like it's just been the worst with this stupid thing. I'm like, move on. Like, please, just go away.
The problem is we have all the kids in the field too.
And once they start figuring out that there are points in the fence, even though they've been patched a million times, they can still squeeze through some things that I'm like, the coyote won't have to come in to get anything. It can just wait on the other side.
They can quickly pick up and carry off, unfortunately.
I think we're going to put up some electric. I'm going to put up an electric line around the bottom to at least teach my goats to stay off and away from the fence. I don't need to teach the coyote to stay off the fence. I need to teach the goats to stay away from the fence and not to go through it. So
Rosinski said, "Can't win for losing." Definitely been there. Have those days where I feel like it. You're just like ready throwing it out for sure.
Yeah, we've had a couple of those days here lately.
Patty said, "An old neighbor was letting his boy shoot into my backyard to ricochet the pellets off my trees. When I was in the backyard working, hollered to stop, and the dad was, 'It's legal.' Shaking my head. Well, that's not legal.
It's not legal to shoot and to put someone
hurt
at
somebody.
risk,
Yeah,
you know.
That's people like that.
And for me, I'm like, that kid's being taught basically because it's legal. I can do this, and it's like just because something is legal, it doesn't mean it's always safe to do it. And we're big 2A rights advocates, and for us, even with Joe, when she takes out her 22, because she'll dispatch whatever needs to be dispatched, and she always handles it in a safe direction. And even when she was little with toys, I'm like, don't ever act like you're going to shoot me. Like you always keep it pointed in a safe direction. You always know what's behind your target. You never point it at anything unless you mean to use it, you know? So I can't get behind that, Dad. Just, it's legal. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Technically not legal to put somebody in danger. So he's definitely wrong there.
Yeah. Manslaughter's not legal.
Crazy Life said, "Sounds like my muzzle loader 2 years ago. Hubby changed the scope. And I set up the shot with a buck, 20 yards, click. What? Hubby 150 yards away and is screaming, shoot. No pressure there. It's always those moments that happens. So
I know. And he was still in bed. So I'd gotten done milking and everything. And I was like, this piece of crap.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, it's a bad part of batteries as they die. So I had about some extra.
It was just bad timing. It wasn't even that like we left the scope on or anything. It's just we
use it quite often right now. Yeah.
We use it several times in a night just to scope and look at things before we're going to bed.
So yeah. Oh, Emma's got to run. Got to put the ducks up.
Yeah.
Glad you were here tonight. Oh, Joe Mama. Hello.
What's up?
Patty said it wasn't legal what he was doing. It was putting me at risk of being injured. I let the dad know. I was calling the cops if he didn't have them stop. Yep, definitely.
But isn't that really sad that you have to do that? Like for me, I'm like, I hate confrontation. So if you give me the point where I have to like confront you or threaten you with like, I'm going to call the authorities, like it really bothers me because I'm like, I don't want to have a confrontation, but if you're not going to talk sense, then I'm going to have to bring in something that will help you to see sensibility. You know, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That makes me upset, Pat.
I mean, out here, because we're pretty rural, you hear gunshots all the time.
Yeah. It doesn't scare you.
No, I mean.
But like the one time up there, and I was pretty vocal. I'm like, what the hell?
But you do hear those like crazy stories of somebody being hit by somebody that was being a little careless, or on New Year's Day, people
firing guns up in the air.
Yeah, they've cracked down on that big time around here, or at least call it out that, hey, you shouldn't do that.
You shouldn't be doing that, yeah.
If they catch you, you'll get in trouble because those do come down somewhere. So I said the guy was a loser, jerk of a man. I feel sorry for his son. So glad I'm not living there anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad you're not there anymore, too. That makes me feel so bad for the kid because I'm like, you don't have a chance, you know? Or, you know, maybe one day they'll look back and be like, wow, that was really, really, because there are things that like we've done, I know, like as kids that we think about now. And I'm like, I cannot believe I did that. You know, like that was extremely dangerous or that was very irresponsible. Yeah. And then to tell Joan, and she's like, you just told me a story. And I'm like, I know. And I'm lucky that I lived through that.
Yep.
So I'm telling you, do as I say and not as I do, even though I wasn't good at heating that when my mom used it on me.
For sure. Oh, poor Jemima said 5 toes amputated on Monday.
I am so sorry to hear that, Jemima.
Continue to pray for you and him. Yeah,
100%. That's so tough. So tough. Dee says, congratulations on reaching that 2,000 goal. Now up to 5. Yep.
Yeah, if we get there,
yeah. It seems unattainable, you know, like all that seems like so far away.
I said that. There's a lot of rewards to it. Definitely the people we've met. It's just the community is awesome.
Lord knows YouTube don't pay anything. And you do a lot of work before you ever get to the point where you make money.
We've said too before, homesteading, you sort of get locked into your own property and working on it and stuff, and you don't get to connect and socialize as much as other hobbies or things you do with other people. So
because of that, because people are so locked away, like with that lifestyle, the people on the outside world don't even know that stuff like that exists. So like bringing it to an avenue like YouTube, it's so great to make it accessible for people that would never even know, like, people live in this way and this is why they live this way, and here are the pros and here are the cons. And most of the time when I watch other people like lifestyle vlogs, it's not my own. Like it's nothing close to what I do because I'm interested in knowing what other people do.
Yeah,
I already know what I'm doing.
Are you sure?
Well, I was gonna say, I'm like, some days maybe not. Most days I feel like I don't know what I'm doing.
Crazy. I said 4 years ago, found out neighbor got shot in the hand out in his backyard Christmas Day. We were asked if we were hunting out that morning.
Nope. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Some of those, they don't know where it came from because it's just random shot.
Yeah.
I had a friend whose uncle was in his basement working on a computer, and a bullet came through the basement window and hit him in the back of the head. Unfortunately, they believe the shot was far away enough. It didn't penetrate the skull, but it hit, and he had to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And
probably had a big headache after that.
Yeah, he had stitches and everything, but if it had been closer, it definitely killed him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I know that our neighbor that we hunt with is not very cognizant of directional shooting. Because there's been times where I'm like, I am right here. Yeah. Like, I know that you are hunting the small parcel of land that you have access to that butts up to this property, but please, like, even though you think I'm uphill, like, it doesn't take anything for something to ricochet and to change course. Like, it's important not to shoot in a direction you know someone is in. And the fact that I'm wearing blaze orange and I'm standing out like a sore thumb, I know I'm here.
Yeah. Jamal said, I thought you'd be much higher in 2000 by now, getting some collabs to help. We thought about it.
Yeah.
Something we definitely want to look into more.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't know. I kind of get into like where I want like that really fast growth. And of course, everybody looks at their videos and is like, I don't know why more people don't just like love us,
Geez, what's socialized? Once we figure it out, we'll let you know. We're still struggling there too.
I guess, maybe. But like for us, we're just socializing with our reflection on the screen. So it's probably not a really good representation of socializing. But yeah, Joe Mama, you think like you should grow a lot faster, but I mean, everybody's journey is different. And I have been really tempted to do the collabs, but then sometimes I'm like, I just want organic. I want people that want to be here. Like the lives, these are like super important to me because they're the people that feel connected enough to want to interact like on a live basis. So you guys are important, and I'm glad that you guys are here.
Joe Mama said, thank you everyone for prayers. Every week it's something else, it seems. That's when you're looking for an upswing. But we're still praying for you. So
100%.
Believe in the power of it.
Homestead.
Hello.
What is up? How are you doing?
Good to see you. But talking a little bit back to gun safety, me and Ashley have gone to the range with new first-time shooters and people handling guns for the first time, and that's always the priority. Is just safety first. I mean, the one big thing is always act like it's loaded with them, because I watch a lot of YouTubers and instructors mainly, and it's not common to have something in your hand that is that dangerous. So you sort of lose that cautiousness because it's not like even scissors are sharp. It's not like it could hurt somebody 10 feet away because unless you throw them or something crazy. But that, and then like talking to my daughter, act like it's a laser. Like anywhere that barrel points, act like it's going to cut it in half. So you just learn to cautiously be aware of where it's pointed. I mean, I practice that every day. I'm pretty much touching one every day because I enjoy working on them and like them and stuff like that. But I try to make sure I'm not ignorant or just become so complacent touching them all the time that they are dangerous. And people don't realize that even though what you see in front of you, I mean, beyond that, with a gun could be in.
100%.
Hit by a stray bullet.
And he is right. Like we do, and him more so than myself. But with this coyote issue, like usually in the mornings, I try to take a rifle out with me every morning because 9 times out of 10, when I see him, I don't have anything to deal with the issue at hand. But it is super easy to become very complacent because you're like, I know how to handle this. So like slinging it over my back and moving around, and tossing out hay and goats were jumping, and I'm like, thank God the safety's on, because if they hit that the wrong way, like, or even if they could hit it and move my safety. So you have to be really cognizant of what you're doing, what you're interacting with. I mean, it is very easy to get complacent, especially when you become comfortable.
Yep.
But I wanted to be more comfortable. That was like the whole reason for me to carry it, because I'm like, I want to know like how to use it, and
it's a tool like anything else.
Yeah.
Especially on a homestead. Crazy Life said we were a community, and Margie said you're important to us also.
You guys are so wonderful.
Yeah. We definitely miss when we're not able to make a live.
Last week was tough because I'm like, I feel like crud, but I really want to talk to everybody.
Yeah. I feel like we haven't connected with our family in a while.
Yeah. Tina said, doing well, thank you. Yes, safety first. Every gun is always loaded.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of funny though, because like he was talking about the people that you take to a range, and sometimes, I mean, the people that I've been around that handled guns were sometimes the one that were like the most sketchy handling. Like, I know you are very well versed with your weapon, but you're not very well versed with knowing where your barrel's pointed. It's because you go to like the two extremes, and like even with new people, there are people that like totally disregard it because they play video games, or they played with like toy guns when they were little, and they just look at it as like, oh, this is like nothing that can really hurt me. And you have other people that are like, it's going to kill me if I even let it near me. You know, like they're really scared to handle it. So it's just kind of weird to see that whole spectrum of like people when they're first being introduced into firearms versus some people that where they're almost scary because they use them all the time. I'm like, I'm right here.
Goodness, Pam's gonna have to wear a bulletproof vest. We can't have something happen to her.
What? I found hunting arrows in my vegetable garden in Portland a few years ago too. I actually found 4 total. Ben found out who it was.
Patty,
thankfully,
be careful out there, man. Don't want something to happen to you, Patty.
That's crazy. What were they shooting arrows? And at what angle? Because I'd be interested if they're coming like straight down. Like if somebody was just like, "Oh, we're just gonna have fun," where it's like, "That's really not fun. It's really dangerous."
Crazy Life said, you keep me going with all the craziness in my life. Also, there's great support here.
Good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
You guys uplift us many times as well. So
even on the days where I'm like, I'm tired, because there are some times like where we've got lives where I'm like, I'm so busy, but I've always found that like when I sit down with you guys and we talk, like I always come away feeling 10 times better.
You found days where it's been a long day and you read a good YouTube comment. Perks you up under this. Yeah. So because you'll come over and share it and
Mark just starts creating like random accounts to put like little good comments on videos.
I'm too busy helping you with the
Or telling me, he's like, how long have you been working on that video? He's like, you might want to sit, if you don't have anything, you might want to work on that. Or he'll be like, you've been working on that for 4 hours, put it down. You need to rest your eyes. So he's such a handler.
Try to. Gotta
so
keep you
funny,
around.
Yeah.
Take care of the goats.
Yeah, Lord knows you guys aren't going to do it if I die.
Oh, Patty said the lives here are a sweet spot in my week.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that.
Being part of our lives is,
So Dee says, how do you guys like StreamYard? I might be starting to do some lives in the next month or so.
How exciting.
StreamYard is awesome because it kind of enables you to do like the streams from like a mobile device. You don't have to wait for like certain stipulations with YouTube to be able to do like lives from your phone. So I do like it. And there's free versions.
Works well with Nightbot, of course. You've seen Nightbot in our chat. Works well with it.
Yeah, Nightbot hooks right in. I did try Streamlabs, like my first live, and I think that Streamlabs might be superior in some ways, but I think you actually have to know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing, nor do I have time to really learn how to do things for streams. So Streamlabs is awesome, or StreamYard is awesome. The one with the duck. The duck. Like
there's a Streamlabs over here.
Too, yeah, Streamlabs is I tried using them the first one, and I didn't really like it for a beginner. It was just kind of tough to get it to sync up how I wanted it to sync. So I'm not what is that, savvy? I'm not tech savvy. He is. So
somewhat on things I want to be
most of the time. It says you guys are a true blessing to me, and I am so grateful. Oh, Margie, we love you. We do.
Definitely.
We do. We feel a lot of connection to everybody that's in our chats, especially the people that are in our chats like all the time. Just because I feel like we're friends and family. Honestly, I do.
Well, Patty said they shot towards our property, not straight up. Neighbors dispatched some destructive raccoon that were tearing up our yard. It is a mixed bag sometimes with neighbors. Yeah. Speaking of mixed bag with neighbors.
Oh my God! You're gonna tell
try to keep this YouTube where it won't get
I'm still in shock.
We were going down the driveway last night. Hopefully, they don't watch the channel.
Well, he knows what we saw you.
Neighbor was going to take a leak off his front porch as we were driving.
He came from in the house.
So our driveway leads right up to like the front of their house, and he was definitely coming out.
And I saw it. It was awful. I saw it. It was like, oh my God.
Yeah. I know we're in a rural country area, but you still have to be aware of who's around. You can't just.
And all I could think, he came from inside the house. Came from inside the house, opened up the door, and he started to go for it. And I'm like, he's not going to. And I'm like, there's no way in the world that this guy is going to pull it out on his.
She starts yelling my name like I'm going to do something. Definitely not going to draw any attention to myself.
He whips it out, and I'm like, oh my God. I saw it, Mark. I saw it.
Yeah, he definitely caught us though as we got near the end of the driveway, and
I didn't embarrass him. I averted my eyes instead of being like,
quickly reached in his pocket, pulled out a pack of smokes, acting like that's what he was.
Pulled something else out of his pocket, and it wasn't no smoke. I was like, oh God! He came from inside.
Yeah.
To go outside to pee. I'm like, I know there's got to be a toilet, a shower, a sink, anything in your house. There's a road, a biscuit road. I'm like, why are you doing that?
I don't know what to say to that. I just, didn't expect that at the end of the driveway.
Oh my God!
I guess we have to be careful going out and checking the mail now. Watch out.
Well, his wife must be getting on him for missing the bowl. Well, you can't miss the yard.
That's true. You can't miss it if there's no bowl to aim at, right?
It was like one of those things you're like, he's not. I was like, Mark, he's not going to. He's not going. Oh my God.
Yeah, that
I was like, you are not rummaging around in those basketball shorts for what I think you're rummaging around for. You're not going to do that out here.
I mean, they have quite a bit of land too, but
and a bathroom. I'm sure they have a bathroom.
That's true. But like Tehan said, maybe he's having trouble hitting the ball, and that's a bigger target. So, speaking of making sure you know where your shot is going, no kidding.
I just can't. I look at this guy in the eye, but he doesn't know I saw it. So now I feel like I have a dirty secret. I'm like, I saw it.
Yeah, that was a little shocking to say the least.
And we always give them like honey and eggs, or I'm like, I don't want to get. Did you call them peckerhead?
That's what Margie did.
Margie.
Bill said, I'm a fanboy. I always enjoy the videos coming over. Need to do more of that before the kids get too big. They grow fast. Definitely. Yeah.
Mo said I would have said, yo, roast that thing on the barbecue.
Mo ever visits, we'll have her yell that out the window as she goes by. That was yeah.
I couldn't. I was like, that didn't happen. Mark keeps bringing it up today too because he knows that I was like, what?
Like, you want to go with me to check the mail? I have to take the garbage out. You want to go up there? He's a little hesitant now.
I know. I make him walk in front of me like, tell me it's not out. Like, I don't want to see it anymore.
It was daytime. It wasn't even the night.
It was broad day.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was something
else.
That
fits in the
I'm like, this is why I like living off the road. But like
these saying that they're being environmental by
not
wasting water.
You know, maybe he really is an environmentally friendly man.
Septic was full, maybe. Maybe we can offer to build a house out there.
Well, he can leave the lizard in the backyard, not the front yard.
Patty said that sounds like the friends my other neighbor had. Broad daylight, lots of traffic and pedestrian. And this guy decided to take a leak at the front corner of the house. Some people are just ugh.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Where I'm like, if I'm even in my flower beds with nobody around, I've got plumber butt. I'm like, nobody wants to see that. Like, even if nobody's around, and then these people are just whipping it out in broad daylight. I'm like, come on.
And maybe use the back porch, not the front. Yeah.
Chances look free Vienna sausages.
It's killing me tonight.
It was awful.
It's times like that makes a person wish that they had a fire hose handy.
Dude, for real. or a taser.
Oh yeah, it was.
Deploy the taser. Put it away.
I mean, like I said, you live in a rural area, but still, I mean, people are around, so you got to be careful.
I've seen multiple people though down our road peeing out in their yards. Where I'm like, I understand, like I do, I get it, but could you just try to act like you're doing something different, or like back to the road would be even great. Mm-hmm. My mom was talking about once they were like on the side, they were going down the highway.
Damn, didn't know you were Jewish. Crazy life. So if you yelled something, you probably wouldn't see it again.
Assault loaded pellet gun. There you go. But it was awful. My mom was telling me the other. I haven't told her what I saw. I saw my neighbor's weenus or whatever because he's trying to be off of his front yard.
On the front porch.
On his front porch. But my mom's like, it was the weirdest thing. Like we were going down the highway and this guy was pulled over and he was like peeing into the traffic, like just standing there, just peeing at people as they're coming by. I'm like, what is wrong?
Crazy. I said pee in a barn, but not. I'm in a stall.
Dude, for real, I've had people come to buy goats and pee in my barn.
Guy,
or he's like, I'm sorry, I've waited a long time.
I had a guy the other day when we were doing our gravel for our driveway, our new gravel. He was out looking at the old truck in our field that I traded for some gravel, and he's like, "I'm sorry, do you mind?" Well, as long as you don't point it at me,
you're
go
not
ahead.
the first, and you're not.
Don't hit me with it. And, but yeah, I mean, at least you're not facing the road in public, so. Decent. I'm surprised you didn't see it last year at HOA before they fixed the porta-john issue. Yeah.
Didn't they tell people though, like, hey, don't go into the bushes or like don't go in the parking lot.
For other
like,
spots to go,
please wait for them. You know,
the line was long. Like,
the line was extremely long.
You were in trouble because
if you were having like what we call a Tonga attack, like where you gotta go, like you gotta go right then and there, like. You would have been up a creek, literally up a creek with no paddle because it's like, I've got to go.
Yeah, there were some long lines.
Or like I would say like some people were nice for like the little kids that were doing like the pee-pee dance. They were like, no, get them to the front of the line, let the kids go. You know, we don't need to have them having an accident. Yeah. Because then that's super stressful.
Yeah. But they did get it fixed fast.
They did.
So,
okay.
Thank goodness.
Now that we're done talking about our neighbor's wiener. I hope he doesn't watch this. We saw you.
Yeah.
We know you weren't reaching for your smokes in your pockets.
Yeah, definitely.
It was not what that was about. We're going to go ahead and let you guys go. We still need to put up some animals. I have to feed 2 bottle babies. They're a nighttime bottle. Yep. And then I'm going to lay down and try to edit some videos. So
wonderful being with you all again tonight.
We missed you guys. We're glad to see you. Glad to get to hang out with all of you.
Next week, right? We don't have any plans, so
unless we have like a weird ball game that pops up. So
with the weather up and down, like many people said,
it might. You never know.
We have rainouts, and then they reschedule on various days it's open. So
usually on other days we have things planned already. So making it really interesting. Anyways, off that tangent. We hope that you guys are all staying healthy out there and being kind to one another, and we will catch you in the next one. God bless you guys.
God bless.